Okay, so a lot of people have been saying that Gen Alpha is getting out of hand, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree. From mindlessly scrolling on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels, or just complete brain-rotted behavior, a lot of people are saying Gen Alpha's cooked. So today we're gonna watch a couple videos about Gen Alpha, and hopefully there's some type of silver lining by the end of this.
I'm genuinely terrified for this next generation of children. I decided to work at a summer camp this year, and I didn't understand the severity of the brain rot. Holy shit. Not only is their lingo actually terrifying, but the entitlement and genuine stupidity, and I'm sorry to call kids stupid, but like, we are not smart anymore at all, is so scary. I had kids not knowing that there was 7 continents at the age of 12. Half the kids cannot spell without asking for how to spell it or just sounding it out, which is baffling to me. And I understand that there's like some 4-year-olds that I'm like, you don't even know how to write yet, like, you're chilling. But at the age of 8 to 12, if you don't know how to spell the word exit, it's kind of scary. Next issue is the genuine entitlement that kids nowadays have. And I'm coming at this from a youngest of 5, spoiled brat, youngest daughter. Like, I got everything I wanted. I never got in trouble for shit. And I'm saying that these kids are entitled. I had a 10-year-old boy break down, like throw a literal hissy fit for 30 minutes over one rule changing in walkie-talkie tag, being that there can be more than one person guarding the jail. It's never been like that.
It's actually crazy. My sister actually works with children, and from the stories that she tells me, it's horrible. She said they don't know how to spell exit. And if you didn't know, exit only has 4 letters. But at the same time, there's a lot of adults that can't spell. You would be surprised how many people don't know the difference between there, and there, our, and are. How many people there are that don't know the difference between no and no, your and your, and there's so many other things. It's crazy. People really can't spell. Those things get passed down to Gen Alpha, and Gen Alpha definitely is cooked. And then as far as entitlement, man, it is crazy. I don't work directly with kids, but I'm also a barber. So when I cut children's hair, I see it. It is insane. They mindlessly scroll. They don't even give the video a chance to play. It has to get their attention instantly. It is insane. But the crazy thing is, I've seen adults like this too. Gen Alpha is beyond cooked, but a lot of people that have children right now are cooked as well. They are cooked.
I had to literally Urban Dictionary so many words this year, and it's so scary. The scariest part for me is watching the girls be so overly consumed about what they look like all the time. There was a 12-year-old, I love this girl to death, but oh my gosh, every day it is something about looking ugly, looking fat, not having the right skincare, or forgetting her Dior lip gloss, like pulling out makeup products out of her bag that I would not even dare to touch on expensiveness. We have girls that are 10 to 12 years old really worrying about what they look like on the day-to-day while at summer camp. And I know that the older generation was concerned about us, but I'm like, not to be saying that we're the exception, but we were a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie.
It's out of pocket, man. This is how kids used to look when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was overalls like this. Like, this is how little girls dressed back then. Now it's insane. You'll see videos of dudes talking to underage girls, but they don't find out that they're underage until literally they ask. But you should be able to tell the difference, right? You should be able to tell the difference between a child and an adult, but you barely can anymore. Like, you'll meet a 13-year-old girl with tattoos everywhere, but their parents are the ones that are letting it happen. Like, you can't blame Gen Alpha for being cooked. You have to blame the people that are raising them.
Anyone else realize that middle schoolers are like abnormally weird to talk to? But it's not like y'all are socially awkward. It's like y'all are weird, like Marilyn Manson, serial killer stalker type of vibe. Anytime those Gen Alpha iPad creeper hoodie variants pull up, it just feels like y'all about to do something unconsensually. I can't explain it. That's not even the worst part, because you can't feel, wait. Say it with me! Kill my music! You can't feel too comfortable being around them, because when they little pea-sized brains get the fucking turning and shit, they're gonna terrorize you and make you regret even wanting to open your mouth and say something to the little nigga. I mean, like, if we can get a telescope and look inside these Gen Alpha kids' heads, only thing you will see is TikTok, slurs, skippity toilet, and fucking untasteful ass meme. But it's so confusing because they will spam TikTok memes to you in your face.
No, nothing beat a Jet 2 holiday. Duke Dennis. Yo, it's so hot in Cappuccino right now. Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh, I'll never forget, I picked up my little cousin, this little nigga in like elementary. I'm talking to his friends and shit. One of his little badass friends gonna come up out the side of my eye and say,
Who you be gooning to?
what the fuck you know about that?
That is crazy, twin. I have never experienced nothing like that, but I believe it though. That's the crazy thing. Like, they be wild. They be wild. Like, they be knowing stuff that they're not supposed to know, because my generation is the first generation to be a kid on the internet. They're the first generation to grow up in the internet. There's got to be some type of laws.
6-7 or 41 is 21 is 69. Side bow is STFU is shut up. Clanker is bot is dumb robot. Aura is main character energy is vibe. Negative aura is dusty is bad vibes. 8 is slayed is crushed it. Yay is send it is for the win. Get aired is curved is blew off. That's dog water is that's trash is that sucks. Fire is gas is dope. Unk is boomer is old head. Riz is game. Big yikes is L is oof. Goat is mother is icon. Skibbity is gnarly is sick. Chad is alpha is dude bro. Chat is fam is squad. Glazing is meat riding is kissing ass. Sigma is based is boss. What the Sigma is bruh is WTF. Ohio is backrooms is creepypasta. Twin is bestie is BFF. OD is high key is looks maxing is glow up is makeover. Mog is flex on is one up. 6-7 or 41 is 21 is 69.
That's what's up. Now we all understand each other. It is cool to see how everything is just the same thing, just evolving.
These new kids, or I don't know if it's just my kid, but they have money, okay? And I don't know where they get the money, but I know my child has not asked me for a debit card. He has not asked me for a dime, but always has money. At 11 this morning, he ordered me Starbucks. I know adults who cannot order Starbucks in the morning. Whatever he wants, he's gonna make it happen. Everything I wanted, I had to ask my mom or go to the mall and steal it. I seen a little girl who was like, I think 14 or 15 on here the other day, who got her first job at Chick-fil-A. Her first check was like $170 or something like that. Prince has never worked a job a day in his life and is spending money daily. I just can't wait to see until he's like 16 and 17, 18, and like when he like comes and asks me for like a Range Rover and I'm like no, and then he pulls up the next day like, it's okay mom, I got it.
Well, it is in part the new kids, but it's also in part your kid. You know, you got the lip fillers going on, you got the veneers going on and all that stuff. So clearly this is a luxury lifestyle that he's used to. Maybe it is your money coming from somewhere, right, that you don't realize, but maybe not. Right? Like, it could literally just be you bought him something for Christmas and then he's selling it and then getting the money. Or he could just be an attractive dude and he's getting the girls at school to buy him stuff. Or he might just be running with some homies that got some money that's giving it to him or helping him out. For me, when I was in school, because I was the same way, I never asked my people for money. I just went and got it on my own. This whole studio, I bought everything in here on my own as a kid. This is all the same stuff that I've had since I was a teenager. The way that I used to get it, I used to go to school and just flip snacks. I used to go to school, bring chips, bring candy, bring sodas, all that type of stuff, and then be selling it in class. Don't underestimate how much money that could bring in. Well, I don't know about now, but back then, man, it was crazy. And then when Rap Snacks came out, I don't know if y'all know about Rap Snacks, but when Rap Snacks came out, I was going to school in a country town. So Rap Snacks were nowhere to be found in this city, but they were the biggest thing on the internet. But I would go to Atlanta to visit my dad all the time. So when I'm in Atlanta, my dad would help me go and get some Rap Snacks. I'll go buy all of them out the store and then bring them back with me, back to the little country town. And I take them to school and the bag said $1. I'm selling them for $5. You want to try them? You better give me $5. Bro, I racked up. I made so much money. I don't even think I got my first job until I was like 21. It was crazy. But I had everything I wanted though. Got everything I ever wanted. Yeah, you got veneers and everything. Like, not everybody's living like that. For you to be living like this and raising him that way, that's probably where he's getting that hustler mentality from, and that's a great thing.
So I had picked my son up from a Halloween party on Friday, and you know, seeing these teenagers, these little Gen Alpha kids operate in the wilderness, you know, it's really weird. It's really weird. My wife dropped them off. She was like, none of the kids had costumes on. They out there just trying to be cool. Then I pick them up, and they just all standing around. They just standing around, nobody dancing, nobody having a good time. Hell, it's like they group up together to stand around and like be on their phone. If they do dance, it might be a little TikTok dance here or there, but they not grabbing walls and catching ass and holding their partner up while he over there, she throwing it back on. Like, we was crazy, bro. We was crazy in high school, having a good time, freak dancing, the Pretty Ricky giving lap dance. But I have a theory as to why millennials were the last generation that were able to kind of grow up and just have fun. Like, if you went to a party, you went out, or it was like you didn't know what happened unless you was there. And then even if you wasn't there and everybody telling stories, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 different stories. And hell, you could be like, that wasn't me. I ain't get my ass whooped. That ain't how the fight went. If you got your ass whooped, hey, it was word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? You was out there dancing, being a little freaky, cheating on your boyfriend. It was word of mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna lie, that sounds like a terrible time. I would hate to not know what my girl is doing. Like, you out here cheating on your boyfriend and it's just word of mouth? Like, what, bro? It's kind of wild. I would hate that.
We knew it wasn't going to be on the internet 5 minutes later. Somebody was going to stick a camera phone in our face and the flash was going to be on and we danced with some girl. These kids, that's why they all dress alike. They all do the same little popular TikTok routine dances because they're afraid to step outside of their box to be themselves or get creative or just get wild or some shit like that because they too worried about getting recorded and put it on the internet and put on TikTok or something. You going viral because you was doing a goofy dance and everybody making fun of you or something. I get why these kids are so afraid to, like, it's like they are like my son. He just too cool for school. Everything cringe. They just trying to be cool. Everything got to be cool. You know, I don't want to do this because I'm going to be cool. I'm trying to be, it's weird, but I understand why they're like that. Because they grew up with every second of their life can be recorded and posted on the internet and millions of people can see it just like that. I mean, can you blame them?
Yeah, man. I've seen it a few times. People just go viral completely on accident. I think my generation might have been the first one to kind of experience that because my generation, we're in class and teachers are talking crazy. Teachers might yell at you or something like that, yell at a student. Next thing you know, somebody across the room got their phone out. They're filming. Teacher get fired the next day because now the video is viral. And it's like, these teachers are probably not used to this. You know what I mean? They're not used to having to deal with those type of consequences for those actions. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing as well. It kills the social aspect, but it also keeps people in check. So it kind of makes you be on your P's and Q's because you never know what might happen. You never know what might go viral.
Gen Alpha nostalgia just shouldn't be nostalgia at all. So Gen Alpha claims they already feel nostalgic about some things, and I don't even understand how that's even possible, because the oldest Gen Alpha kid is around 15 years old. How do you already feel nostalgic? Well, they do, and memes they feel nostalgic about is the Only in Ohio meme, the Grimace Shake meme, and the Skibbity Toilet meme. But didn't those just originate like the other day? How are they nostalgia? Next, Gen Alpha games they feel nostalgic about is Among Us, Fortnite, and Minecraft. I must be getting old, because this just doesn't seem like the past for kids yet. Finally, some random things Gen Alpha finds nostalgic are iPads, the Nintendo Switch 1, and Touch ID on Apple devices. I just can't be the only one who can't believe this is called nostalgia.
I don't know. I think when I was 15, I used to feel nostalgic for things too. Things from when I was a little kid. Like when I was 15, I felt nostalgia for Barney. I felt nostalgia for Bob the Builder. I felt nostalgia for the Wiggles. All of that. To be honest, I still have nostalgia for those things. I was just watching deep dives about Barney the other day. And I guess Touch ID is their Barney. Wow. Ohio is their Wiggles. Skibbity Toilet is their Bob the Builder. That's kind of crazy, but I could kind of understand it. That stuff from when I guess they were like kids and now they're teenagers. But it is still kind of crazy that they can start to feel nostalgia for things that to us feel like it was just 5 years ago. To a 10-year-old, 5 years ago is half of their life ago. 5 years ago, they were a 5-year-old.
Skibbity toilet will be mine. Ohio, yeah.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, we are obsessed with skincare. Does anyone care about the 7-year-olds in Sephora? It attracts spiders.
Why do you need 2 screens?
Because I can't watch YouTube on this one.
Why do you need to be so overstimulated that you need to watch 2 things at once, though?
I don't. I just like watching 2 things at once.
You're crazy, dude.
Honestly, for me, when it comes to that overstimulation, that's not a good feeling. Like, to me, it doesn't feel good. To me, it feels a lot better to slow down and just do one thing. The feeling in my brain is a lot more soothing. Even when I do videos sometimes and I have to look at multiple screens, multiple parts of the monitor, it's kind of just like, it's a lot. And for these kids at such a young age, I feel like the effects of that is probably going to be like, it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. But at least with the skincare thing, they'll probably look 30 when they're 70. So shouts out to them on that. So at least they'll be pretty and dumb.
Baking.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, okay. And I checked the expiration date. It is a glass plate.
Very good. Right, okay. We're having a little trouble.
I take out the bread.
Taking it. Okay, okay, go.
Then I take the bread and I put it back in its desired home spot.
Okay. Oh my god, help.
Nutella.
Right, okay.
Then I opened it, give it a little mix, get out the biggest spoon there is, and then
That's really not.
take this, give it a little mix.
Okay. Zero respect for the home.
I have a feeling this is going to be expired.
Who puts peanut butter in the refrigerator? Are you supposed to do that? Are you supposed to put peanut butter in the refrigerator? We keep it in the cabinet at my house. Have I been doing that wrong? Do you guys put peanut butter in the refrigerator? Let me know in the comments. Literally, I need to know that. I got to know. Am I doing something wrong?
April 17th, 2026.
Right,
Give
exactly.
it a little mixy bill. Biggest spoon there is.
Oh my god. Right. Yes. The shit smear, girl.
It's not.
Did you just fart? No.
I have no idea what I just watched. I have no idea what the heck that was. But we just watched it together. I like peanut butter sandwiches.
I was a girl, I was alone, ha, watching, ha, he's okay, ha, given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was a queen that I meant to be, I did too much, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place, call the front left shot, cause I got too loud, but now that's how I'm getting paid, closing on stage, I'm down.
That's enough of that. Is that a Gen Alpha thing? When I was a kid, I used to do the same thing in the store. I used to do the same thing at Verizon. Maybe I was a brain rotted Gen Alpha, Gen Z kid too. Well, that made me feel old.
But I need to throw down a very serious rant because I'm experiencing something that is really getting on my last damn nerves. So basically, I'm a teacher, I do supply work, I work in various different schools. I've been teaching for like 10 years. I've been in the game for 10 years. And before that, I was a teaching assistant, so I've been in it even longer than 10 years. One thing that I'm noticing, this generation, Alpha, bloody hell, they are a piece of work. And I'm seeing some teachers in America saying this, but so I work in year 2 and oh my God, I feel victimized by some of these 6 and 7 year olds. Like they don't listen, they're violent as hell. Their academic abilities are so much lower than I've seen in my previous teaching years. They're helpless. You ask a question, they're just staring at you. They still can't form their letters. Like before, in a class of 30, you might have had maybe 5 or 6 students that, you know, needed support to access the curriculum. Now it's like the other way around. You have 5 or 6 students that can access the curriculum, and then the rest of the class really struggles. It is bizarre. I don't know how we're raising them or what on earth is going on, but they can't manage their emotions. They're throwing tantrums left, right, and center. They hide under tables. They storm out. They don't listen to instructions. You tell them something and they just mock you and repeat after you what you've just said. They don't be quiet. It is stressful as hell. Like, it makes you contemplate walking out of the profession because it is just too much. Now, I don't know what on earth is going on. If someone knows, like, let me into like the secret as to what's going on. But oh my God, it is like, it is only lunchtime. What time is it? It is like just, what time is it? Almost 1:45. So I haven't even done a full teaching day and I've already had enough. Like, I'm ready to go home. Like, I'm so over it. I'm so done. You lot, what on earth is going on with Generation Alpha?
I don't think that this is a very complicated issue. I think that it's a very simple explanation for what's going on here. Disciplining children is becoming harder and harder and harder, not because of the children, but because of the laws. So you can't yell at them. You can't reprimand them. You can't hit them. And you'll have people in the comments that say things like, if you can't discipline your child without hitting them, then you're a bad parent. Well, considering the fact that most of the children that are growing up and not being disciplined the old school way are growing up to do horrible things or be completely slow. You can't say certain words about kids anymore. Of course, they're gonna mock you when you try to tell them something. Of course, they're gonna throw tantrums when they don't get their way because they're used to only ever getting their way. And then the reason why they're not able to think properly is because parents are not taking the time to teach their kids. Like, I was very, very, very fortunate to grow up in a household where my parents really valued education, and not just in the sense of, oh, go to school, go to college type of education, but more so just like learning. Like, as a kid, I don't really remember watching anything that was just pure entertainment. That never really happened. I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob until I was about 15 or 16. I wasn't allowed to watch Billy and Mandy until I was about 15 or 16. I wasn't allowed to watch any of that stuff. I had to watch educational programming. I was watching Animal Planet, documentaries, that type of thing. And before that, it was Barney, Sesame Street. And when we were in the car, it wasn't we're listening to what my mom and my dad want to listen to. It was, no, if the kids are in the car, we're listening to kids' music only. So we're listening to Barney soundtracks. We're listening to Sesame Street soundtracks. We're listening to educational learning songs. We were the only kids in the family that were even being raised that way. All of the other kids in the family knew all the rap songs. I didn't know any rap songs until I went to school and heard other kids singing them. And even then, I didn't know them because then I'll go home and I'll sing it and I'll get in trouble. It's very clear what's going on. These kids are being raised listening to Ice Spice. These kids are being raised with iPads and phones and Twitch and Instagram and TikTok. And I don't even think that those things are horribly wrong. But when you're specifically giving your kid a phone screen, an iPad, and giving them free range to go and watch whatever they want to watch, of course they're going to turn into complete morons. That's what's going to happen, because no kid at that young of an age has the discipline to say, hey, I'm interested in going and watching something that's educational. No, you put the education in front of them and you only give them that, they're going to learn to love it. If you're giving a kid free range to run around and eat whatever they want, of course they're going to gain incredible amounts of weight and be unhealthy. But if you're only giving them fruits and vegetables, eventually, instead of having a favorite candy bar, they're gonna have a favorite vegetable and a favorite fruit. That's just what happens. But for some reason, which I've been hearing a lot, the excuse that I've been hearing a lot is a lot of these adults didn't like being raised in a way where they were being disciplined or where they were being taught educational things or where they were being, I guess, forced to learn. So they decided when they had kids, they were never gonna teach their kids anything. They were never gonna discipline their kids. And now you have a bunch of mentally challenged children, and that is the baseline. The baseline is these children being mentally challenged, and it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. It's scary, but I do think that there's a slight possibility that we could revert back to the right state, because apparently a lot of people are noticing that there's a problem, and at least those people are being vocal about the fact that there's a problem. So if we can notice that there's a problem going on, I guess that's the first step to changing.
People hate on Gen Alpha to the point where it'd cause children to be ashamed of themselves over the year they were born. Mind you, they don't control the system. So what if a child doesn't have the exact replica of your childhood? Why do you think it's okay to hate on younger generations which are influenced by your behavior? Children look up to people older than them. Maybe that's why some Gen Alphas can have toxic personalities and want to mature early, since they listen to the Gen Zs telling them they're weird for liking stuff normally a child would enjoy. There is nothing wrong with being entertained by a device. You're not automatically an iPad kid if you're a Gen Z. But when it's a Gen Alpha, it's a huge issue, and get addressed as them being an iPad kid. Liking makeup as a kid is totally normal and has been a thing for Gen Z. But once again, when Gen Alphas are amused to it, they get called Sephora kid? Why are Gen Alphas being blamed for wanting to mature more when their whole life they were called weird to be a kid? And one Gen Alpha's bad behavior doesn't automatically mean all Gen Alphas act like this.
Now, I'm not here to make a video where I'm debating people on TikTok and their opinions. I'm just gonna say, if you heard everything that she just said, and then you pair that with the fact that this is a video of somebody, because you need some type of stimulation, you can't even sit there and just listen to a person talk. Like, you need that much stimulation. She knows that anybody who's listening to what she's saying and taking it seriously, she knows that anybody who's listening to what she's saying and agreeing and taking it in and not seeing this as foolishness also needs to have their mind stimulated, because their attention span is so that they have to watch something like this in the meantime. And I think with that, we're gonna cut the video right here. But if you enjoyed watching the video, leave a thumbs up. If you agree with what I said and you have anything to add on, leave a comment. If you disagree with anything that I said, leave a comment. I like to hear what you have to say. And YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this video that's on screen right now, so click on it, see if they're right. I'm Mikey Global. Thanks for watching.